Good morning, everyone. This is Sylvia McCrory with ChristianParentingToday.org. Um, Today, I'm going to do just um, a little information about social media. I had done one earlier and deleted it, and I'm glad I did because if you have not seen the documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma, please watch it. It has more information and it can um, say the things that I want to say in a much more educated manner, I guess. Let me just tell you some of the takeaways from that and some of the things that I wanted to tell you or share with you anyway. I have always been aware of, and excuse me, there is a glare right here. I got to move everything. Um, Aware of the dangers of social media and how it is consuming so much of the time of our children, but not only our children, but adults. And that's been very concerning to me, and there was no real way that I could put into words. My big concern was that parents are ignoring their children to spend more time on social media, and they're handing their children a device and letting their children just stay on that device and not really monitoring what's going on. Well, in this documentary, The Social Dilemma, there is the people who were some of the beginning engineers and developers of some of the things that we see on social media. They are now the ones that are the whistleblowers telling us of these dangers. And to be perfectly clear, when these things were developed, they were not developed to be harmful. They were developed to be things that were good. But as technology took over, they became bad things for us. So some of the things that we need to understand and we need to realize, and we have not given validity to it up until now, and I hope we will soon start to do that, is social media is a drug. It is just like the drug addict that is addicted to something. People are addicted to not just social media, but to technology, and I will do more about that. But they are addicted. If you try to put it down for a day or a week and you are unable to do that, then you are addicted to it. And so we need to look at that. The thing is, um, social media and a lot of these things like Facebook, they were designed to see how much of our time they could consume and how much and how to keep us coming back for that, um, to keep looking at things and to keep posting things. And for a lot of us and a lot of people, it is out there all the time. Um, Now, what has happened is, in some of the algorithms have been designed to feed you more of the information that you are searching for. So if I search for something about puppies, then all of a sudden you are getting advertisements about puppies. You are getting feeds about puppies everywhere. Whenever you go on the internet, all of a sudden there's going to be something about puppies, about buying puppies, about products for puppies, about videos for puppies. Bad thing is, puppies is just a very, very simple example of what's going on. For people that are looking for bad things, then all of a sudden they are going to just be getting those bad things. For example, if it is, and they mentioned this in the video, if it's something about politics or if it is something about negativity, then all of a sudden that's all you're going to be fed. And the more that you are fed that diet and the more that you click into that, the more that becomes your steady diet, that you're not getting anything else. Whether this information is true or not, who knows? Typically, it's not going to be, because all you're getting is another person's opinion that already thinks that way. So you're not getting another side of it. So that is a huge, huge concern. Other things is that our children today, the ones that are, I believe they are called the Gen Zs. Yeah, the Gen Z. They are our new social media generation. They were raised on it. It had already been developed so that they were raised on it. Well, as technology was increasing and developing, there has been a correlation between that and depression, anxiety, and suicide. And we need to really, really worry about that as well. That is huge. But the other thing is, when this technology and these algorithms were put into place, they were put into place for advertisers. They were put into place, for example, go on back to the puppies. If I wanted to see something about puppies, then bam, we got all these advertisements for the puppy products. Now, the advertisers are the ones that are paying the Facebook and all these other things. It is not us that's paying for it. And there is one thing that was an interesting quote, and I'm sure I'm not saying this right, but something about, if you are not purchasing a product, you are the product. That's big, because we are the product. We are the guinea pigs, guys, and we are not realizing it. We're so naive that we're not realizing that we are being used. We're being used by these companies and these corporations to increase their tax dollars. So they love that we want to see something about puppies, and they're sending these advertisements to us, and the more that we're clicking on them, the more ads we're getting. And if we buy the products and we have bought into it, and then we are getting more and more of those ads that are going into that social media, which is, those ads are paid for by those companies, and it's causing the dollar for the company to go up, their profits to go up. So we are the guinea pigs, and we are being fed. All we've got to do is just throw out one little morsel that we might be interested in something, and then we're bombarded. And most of you know this, but that's the way the algorithms are designed. Now, please watch all of that documentary. I've got to say, some of the documentary, it is a good documentary. It is interviewing lots and lots of people that design these things, and they are so intelligent and know so much that sometimes you really have to make yourself pay attention, because it's not entertainment. It is information, and it's information about how we are being used. We are the not only the guinea pigs, we are the mice in the maze. We are just being used. So when these things were designed, let me just be sure that you get this too. They were designed not to protect us or to protect our children from what it may do as far as mental health and emotional health. It was designed for the profit of these companies. And now that we have asked these companies, some people are beginning to recognize it. Very few people, I would say, recognize this as a problem. The social media and the amount of time that we are spending on the internet and on social media as a problem. But of those people, which is fewer than the people that are using it, of those people that recognize it, then they in turn need to convince others, other powers that be, about these dangers so that something can be done to enforce that. Um, our social media, and this is very important for children. It's important for us, but very important for children. It takes over our sense of self-worth and our sense of identity. So we look at how many likes we've got, we look at comments that people make, and if there's one nasty comment or that one negative comment, it can do more harm than 1,000 positive comments or 2,000 likes. By the same token, if people have only 4 likes and they were hoping for 400 or 1,000, then again, that is hurting their self-worth. The more time that is spent on these devices, the lower our self-esteem, and the more that we are equating our self-worth to what something on the other side of the screen that we don't see is saying. Another thing in that too is it is taking away from our social interaction. People that interact socially are healthier mentally and emotionally and physically if they are spending time doing physical activity, if they are spending time with people in person. And I know there's a pandemic going on, and I just spoke with my husband. We're going to see some friends, but we're going to sit outside. We're going to social distance. We are going to bring masks. So yes, children can still see their friends, but they can stay outside. It is, for most of the country, it is still not uh, too cold for them to stay outside. And even in the wintertime, children all enjoy being outdoors, so they can spend time outdoors. And if they can't stay far away from each other, they can social distance or they can wear masks. But the important thing is that the people that count are the people that you see in person. It's not the comments of people that we don't know, or of people that, all of a sudden they have the courage to say really negative, belligerent things that they never had the courage to say or would not say to our faces. Um, other other things that I wanted to mention, and I'm just kind of glancing. I just really um, finished watching this, and there were some things that uh, I thought was very important that we discuss. And I wrote this note down. Our social media and time on the internet, it is causing suicides, it is killing people, it is one of the most dangerous things that are out there. It is our digital pacifier, and that was in that video. If we don't if we don't spend enough time on these devices, or if we're bored, we want to plug into one of these devices. Well, these devices are not encouraging our mental health. They are discouraging it. So we need to be very, very careful about that. Um, Other comments that were made, and again, I want you to watch that, is that we are easily manipulated by these videos and by the things that we are watching on social media. It's not all about us posting too, it's about the things that we are watching. So we're easily manipulated, and it has created a system with lies, and also that is toward false information. There's no one that's checking the information that's being posted out there. So people are believing the most horrific things and doing some of the most horrific things because they're seeing it, and they are believing it. And if they see it more than once or twice, then they are believing it even more and more. Um, it is also, when we talk about and we see all the stuff that's going on in our country today, with all the rioting and the protests and stuff. Um, and we have given, there's been a lot of talk about politics and things like that. But guys, this internet and the social media is also one of the big tools that is used to grow division in our country. It is probably, it's easily accessible, it's free to people that have the internet, and so it is growing this division within our country, within our families. It is growing a lot of division, a lot of hate, a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, but yet we can't get enough of it. We keep going back to it. And I've got to say, just to be clear and to be upfront, I'm not on social media. I do still have an account. I glance at it occasionally, but now I'm thinking about taking down a lot of it. Our company may be using some of it for advertising. I'm not sure at this point, and that's a discussion that we're going to have within our company. But the main thing is, if you are using social media, cut the time down. Once a day, 3 minutes. Do not let it consume your life. And I'm talking about anything that anyone is putting out there. Don't let it consume your life. Please, first of all, watch Social Dilemma, because you will get some really great information that can be presented in a much better way than I can. But if you are one of these people, and I see these people everywhere I go that are looking on their phones, and the bad thing is the teenagers um, are more into their phones than anyone else. But when I see that, it scares me to death, because they believe everything. They're no longer equipped to carry on a conversation. It is really scary, and they cannot discuss their point of view. All they can discuss is a point of view that they have seen on social media or somewhere else. So please watch Social Dilemma. Think about how much time you are spending on these social sites, and be very careful about your children. And if you take nothing else away from this video, I encourage you to take a look, or to look up statistics of children and suicide in correlation with social media. That in itself should be enough for you to want to protect your children. Please watch it. Again, it was never intended to be this way, but that's what has happened. I think a few minutes on social media, there's probably no harm, but those ads and things that keep popping up, watch out for that. This is Sylvia McCrory with Christian Parenting Today. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.